Hi guys, welcome to day 30. I can't believe I've made it through 30 days of video lessons in this 31-day video diary. Today is going to be the last really kind of like piece of advice that I give to young players out there. Tomorrow's video is going to be, I'm going to talk to you guys about what my motivation was and what my driving force was behind this 31-day video diary and why I decided to put it together. But today I'm going to give you my last piece of advice, but first I want to tell you a story, okay? The story is this. Years and years ago, when I was a teenager and I was playing my first professional gig, where I started to make a little bit of money and go out and play. I was doing a gig and it was about a 2-hour drive from my home. This was back in Colorado. And so I loaded up all my gear and off to the gig I went. I got to the gig only to find out that I had left my cymbal bag at home. And I was just, I was devastated. There's no way I had time to go back and get my cymbals. And luckily I found a local music store that was open. The guy was sympathetic to my problem and he rented me a set of cymbals. I'll never forget it. It was a 20-inch ride, a 14-inch crash, and a set of 14-inch hi-hats. But it got me through the gig, and the money that I made on the gig went to pay for the cymbals. So I learned my lesson very quickly. All right, so here is today's video lesson. Have a checklist, okay? Have a checklist of your gear, both when you load it into your vehicle to go to the gig and when you load out of the gig and you're going back home or going to the next town or going wherever. But have a checklist so that you know where your stuff is at and that you got everything. You don't want to leave stuff behind, especially if you're out doing some road gigs, right? And you're traveling and doing a series of shows. You don't want to do the first show, the second show, and then leave something at the third show. You know, I mean, you got to make sure that everything's there. So here's kind of my little checklist, and I'm going to tell you, I've got a gig today, and I've got my drums outside. That's why you just heard that airplane fly over because the door's open. So let's go outside real quick and I'm going to show you everything that I load into my truck and how I do it so that maybe it'll help some of you young players out there. So, and it's a beautiful day out here in Southern California. Look at the palm trees out here. This is great, isn't it? Anyway, here's my gear. So this is everything I have. This is my hardware case right here. Carries all the racks and cymbal stands and stuff like that. This is the drums themselves. My stick bag. This is the bass drum, obviously. My cymbals, right? My cymbals, the thing that started this whole darn thing when I left my cymbals at home on that one gig. This is a trap case right here that has all of my, it's got like my bass drum pedal and an extra snare drum, a little mixing console, some odds and ends and stuff in there, you know, stuff like that. And this right here, this is my, that's my in-ear monitor system. It's got all my in-ears in there, and a little, again, part of a mixing console, the receiver and everything like that. And then my drum rug. I always take my own drum rug, you know, because you never know. Even if the stage has carpet, I throw it down because it's marked and everything's right in the right place and everything like that a lot of times. So that's what I make sure that I take that with me. So that's everything. Now what I do literally is once it's in my truck, both going to the gig and coming home from the gig, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cases and drum rug. And I count the stick bag as a case, you know, why not? So anyway, that's what I do. Now in the video that I did, I forget what number it was, but the video that I did a week or so ago with our road manager, Justin Novotny, he really is, man. The guy's our right-hand man. He helps with everything. He helps load stuff in, pack it up after the gig, and load stuff out. He watches the show the whole time it's going on to make sure everything's running smooth. He's awesome. And he always helps me load my gear out and get it in my truck or get it in the trailer, and we double and triple check everything. But still, at the end of the gig, man, it's my responsibility to be responsible for my gear, right? So I always do that checklist. After my drums are in there, I count them 7 things. There's the drum rug. I'm good to go. You know, if it's in the trailer or in the back of my truck. And then, last but not least, they call it an idiot check for a reason. I go ahead and I check the stage. After everything's loaded, we're going to split. Everything's done. We're loaded up, ready to go. Whether it's on the road, traveling to the next show, or it's a local gig and I'm heading home. I go back in, I double check the stage, make sure that everything is packed up, it's loaded. We didn't accidentally leave something laying on the stage, right? Because it can happen. It's so easy to happen. And again, when that does happen, look, it costs you money. It takes away from the bottom line of what you're trying to do. So, and, you know, and even in my case, you know, I talked about this in the endorsement, in my endorsement video, right? When I was talking about endorsements, you know, you don't get gear for free when you have endorsements. And yeah, I endorse all these amazing companies, and they stand behind me. But if I lose something, well, that's not their fault, right? So they'll back my play, but I still got to buy the new gear. So, you know, just make sure you got it. Make sure everything's packed. Make sure everything has its own place. And don't lose stuff. You know, it's really easy to do, especially when you have a lot of stuff that you carry around. So anyway, that's my video on packing gear, and that's how I, you know, that's how I learned the lesson. I learned it the hard way by forgetting something at home. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully this series of videos has been helpful to you. I want to thank you guys for watching and checking out all my stuff. And I will see you guys tomorrow in day 31. Have a great day. Go outside. It's beautiful out there, man. Go hang out. If you're local, come see me play. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.